following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.
Feels like recently we were here to kick off the season on Sunday nights for 2024 in the Sim500 NCA11.org Grand National or Xfinity Series, as it's called this season. And we're already back at Daytona. 12 races later, World Center of Racing under the lights for the first of a couple night races you'll see this season in Sim500. They are focused on the daytime racing where the show is the drivers who have to fight their cars and so on and so forth. Tonight, it's under the lights. The drivers still got to show their stuff, but at the same time, they've got to get out there and work the draft and put themselves in the right spot to win tonight for 200 miles and 80 laps of racing around this World Center of Racing. I'm the captain. We appreciate you joining us on this Sunday evening. Of course, fresh off the Easter weekend. Last time we were on the track was back at the Darlington Raceway 2 weeks ago. And of course, you saw in the intro there, it was Jason Karlovage going to victory lane here tonight, or that Sunday night. Tonight, on the other hand, we've got a pretty good field of cars of at least 35 ready to go here tonight. Some maybe new drivers, but either way, we're ready to go here for some great racing this evening. Let's take a look at the point standings as we enter this afternoon or this evening's race, as it is Mac McMillan leading the points right now, of course, by 9 over Braxton DeWeese. Make that 8. I don't know how to count. Stephen Miles is third. Mike Kelly fourth. Scott Simley are top 5. And, of course, we now count down to the playoffs, which is all of 8 races left after tonight. And you look down at that 16th position. Bob Gillenwater holds it right now by 2 over Joe Hudson. 16 drivers get in. It doesn't matter about the start limits or anything like that. It's the top 16 cars that get in, and you see there are plenty of points available there for drivers to get their way in. And tonight's a night to either take advantage or fall out, basically, when it's over with here at Daytona. Some great racing in store coming up here in just a few moments, as qualifying about to begin in just a couple of minutes. Of course, qualifying is presented by 811. Know it's below, call before you dig. And there are a lot of things to focus on here this evening. One of them is going to be Tyler Dalton. I know it's a broken record when it comes to Tyler Dalton in Daytona. However, tonight is a night that could be history-making on a point of, I don't know if you'll ever find a league with this stat that I'm about to put down on you when it is all said and done. Tyler Dalton, if he can win the pole this evening at Daytona, it'll be the 200th Sim500 pole of this man's career. I don't have 200 poles in iRacing, period, and I've been on 13 years. So for somebody to do that in one league, start first in a race, And I can almost guarantee you, I'm about 95% sure that it's going to be Tyler Dalton or Tommy Ryan on the pole, unless Joe Hudson, who won the pole in February, shows up and wins the pole. And he's here, so there's a chance it happens. We could be talking about a 200th pole for Tyler Dalton. That's one of the big stories here tonight. And, of course, the other big story was the guy that went to victory lane here back in February. And not only did he win the race in February, but he also won the Cup race in February. And I'm bringing up Mr. Kelly now. I'm going to interrupt this conversation because I'm just rude like that. Mr. Kelly, obviously, it feels like last week we were here when you were going to victory lane multiple times. And now tonight you go for the sweep in the Xfinity side.
Yeah, I won here last time, right?
Yeah, you did. You won both races.
Okay, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure. I won so many. No, I'm just kidding. Had to get that in.
Nice.
You know what's going to happen now? Wreck lap 1.
Well, I mean, it happens. I mean, but tonight, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, but no, I'm stoked for the race, and sure it's going to be a wild one, and I'm starting at the back. So you can talk to me all through qualifying if you want.
No, that's up to you. But yeah, qualifying is presented by 811. Let me get that out of the way and put the logo up as they go out there and run laps. So let's talk a little bit about this, because tonight's going to be different than what we're used to, because as you know, and Joey and everybody, they put this series together, and they put the races in your guys' hands. They want the drivers to go out there and have to drive these cars. That's why the track temp is like Africa hot, and you get out there and you have to drive the car. Tonight, you're under the lights, and tonight's more luck, I guess, than anything. Am I wrong?
Well, I think it's always luck more than anything, but it might. Sometimes what'll happen if the car's handling better is people will be braver,
Right?
Obviously, so that you can do the math there. But it's always wild at the end. I think we show week after week we can go out and race as clean as we want. So it just depends how crazy everybody gets at the end. Sometimes, netcode will play into it too. That's the wild card. So a lot of times we do everything right, but still have a big wreck. So that's just the nature of online racing. But I always just try to survive to the end. And then if you can get to the finish line in one piece, which I've done well this year at this track so far, you might have a shot. But those odds catch up with you too. You can't just go out a tear at Daytona and then expect it to keep happening.
Yeah,
So.
well, unless your name's Austin Hill, but that's a whole nother story. So your teammate there, Mr. Van Schaik's the only one that has not gone to victory lane on your team in Daytona. Is tonight, since he's here tonight, you push him.
Well, hey, I'm always willing to do that as a team member if the situation plays out where he's in front of me. I'm going to push him really hard and hopefully not kill him like I did Montesi at the Cup car. But, yeah, it'd be great it'd be a lot of fun to get stuck into victory lane tonight. So maybe it'll happen.
All right, man. Well, hey, best of luck. We'll go get yourself something to drink or go to the bathroom, whatever you got to do, and we'll see you back in a couple minutes.
All right, man. Thanks. Have a great broadcast.
You too, buddy. Mike Kelly, the winner in February of both the Xfinity and Cup race, and he said already he's going to the back, and he will probably hang out back there for a long while before he comes towards the front. We'll get him back to his...
I got it.
There's like so many teams in here now. Robert Fryery right now, the pole sitter. As you saw us on Dalton there for a second. Of course, that first lap is a throwaway lap. Let's go to Tyler now. As I talked about the potential history that could be coming here. As Tyler's 9th fastest right now as he's down on that bottom lane. Figure I'd throw the tachometer up there on the screen too so you can see the speeds that they're going around this track. See Randy Yoakum. Van Schaik on Facebook. Well done, sir. Well done. Can't figure out if Dalton's going 178 or 183, apparently, down to turn 3 and 4. Of course, it is the standard default weather in the league, so obviously the 78 with the 2-mile-an-hour winds and the... Oh, well, it was purple for a second. It's gone green. Hudson onto the pole with a 44. Boom! 41 with a 6 for Dalton. Tommy Ryan is the guy he has to beat. Let's see what he can do. Remember how I told you the 3 guys were? Tommy gets him. 41 with a 2. And Tyler will have to wait till tomorrow night to maybe get that 200th pole, which is going to come to like baseball. It's going to be like baseball where you have that like 70th home run or whatever you got to hit, and it takes forever today to get that one home run. But yet you can get the first 69 in your first 69 at bats. As Braxton DeWeese crosses the line, he is 21st right now with a 50-52. And he's done. He's going to start back there in the back, it looks like, on his lap. A lot of cars not qualifying here. 26 have put in a time. We do have Stephen Miles, apparently still running the GTA car that he ran in the Wednesday Night League as he comes across the line. And he goes P4, 50-43. Good lap for him. But it will be Tommy Ryan, it looks like, winning the pole here at Daytona as qualifying wraps up. And we take you trackside. Which, by the way, the pole award presented by 811 Notes Below. Call before you dig. Now we go trackside for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right. 35 cars set to go here at Daytona for the second time this season in the 811, the NC811.org Grand National Series or the Xfinity Series. And they are ready to go. Engines are fired, and let's take a look at the starting lineup here. Tommy Ryan, 50.412 seconds. He will start on the pole alongside Tyler Dalton, Jeff Ryan, Stephen Miles. Maybe Miles' best qualifying effort so far in Sim500 as he starts fourth. Joe Hudson, Trevor Hunt in row 3. EJ O'Rourke and Randy Yoakum will take row number 4. Glenn Campbell, Bob Gillenwater in row 5. Wesley Donaldson, who was pretty good in speed weeks here at Daytona, he'll start there on the inside of Nelson Rivera in a 22 car, starting in the 12th position. Brian Wortman, Doy Woods, they'll take row 7, row 8 to John Schweikert and Anthony Calantoni. Calantoni, a pretty good super speedway racer. Sean Burke and Joey Jatina there in row 9, row 10, Chad Cohen, Brent Scott, Justin Reynolds, Braxton DeWeese there in the 11th row. Eric Arnold, Matt Martell in row 12, row 13. A lot of these guys not putting laps up. Robert Fryery, Kevin Stone, Justin Fuller, who's been one of the hotter drivers on the circuit of recent times. We'll start there with Scott Simley, Charles Van Schaik, Josh Parker, Mike Kelly, Christoph Hall, Ron Holyfield, and I'm not sure if that's Christopher. I'll have to check on that. And Doug Sigmund, Gerald Livingston, the last of the 35 starters in this race. Tonight it's 80 laps and 200 miles. The iRacing default weather, 78 degrees, partly cloudy skies, 2-mile-an-hour winds, 45% humidity. It's been the same ever since I've been on iRacing. Anytime you put the static weather, that is what it is. 3 sets of tires, 2 overtimes if needed here tonight. The only thing that will change, by the way, in the weather is the track temperature. But it's nighttime, so it's going to get cooler if anything. All right. Hayes car. Coming through the turn 3 and 4 section. Usually this car has a lot of sun baked on it in the middle of the day at Daytona, and the cars get loose on entry. Tonight, it is literally more in the driver's hands. You're going to see some moves that you might not normally see on a super speedway, and you're going to see some things tonight that you will not see in league racing around that are on super speedways, because these guys trust each other, and these guys like to put on a show, and tonight they're about to do so here under the lights at Daytona as the pace car is in, and Tommy Ryan and Tyler Dalton lead them back to the green flag. 9 races to go before the playoffs. Who can make their mark tonight? We find out. Our cameras tonight presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. As they get up to speed, a couple things I caught during practice. The pushing was very treacherous at times, especially in the corners. And I think that's going to come down to an experience level and how much practice some of these guys got out there. As Dalton, with help from Stephen Miles, getting that push to the top side. It's Trevor Hunt, that white, blue, gray, red, and all other colors 59 car. I think Tommy Ryan led lap 1. Tommy already put himself 3 wide, as here comes his brother Jeff to the lead. Tommy's going to get a push from the middle by his other teammate Trevor Hunt. As Tyler Dalton's going to clear the lead. Is he going to hang Miles out? Miles might not have a choice but to be hung out here. As Jeff Ryan leads lap 2. By 2 throughout most of the field here. As Dalton gets that push from Tommy Ryan, who now is going to climb that top side and bring, you can almost argue, his protege there in that 59 car, and Trevor Hunt to the front here in this race. Of course, you go back to during the February time period in Daytona. Tommy and Trevor kind of put themselves in a bad spot when the push went wrong and had a big wreck early in the race that took out Tommy in that 99 car after he had won the pole, or ran up front in that race early. As you see the 43 of Joe Hudson pull out of line, he's going to go to the back here early in this race. Probably not a bad idea. He's only going to lose like 2 rows of positions. 4 laps in the books here, and still pretty much side by side for the most part, all the way back to about the 20th position or so. And again, a lot of handling, not too much going to be coming into play here this evening with the way the track temp and everything's set up. EJ working that bottom side. He's got himself some wins here at Daytona. Of course, a Sim500 Hall of Famer. You see Anthony Calantoni up there on the top side in that 84 car. He, of course, is pretty sporty here at a super speedway race. A lot of good super speedway racers in this series. They actually have a super speedway series on Tuesday nights now that just kicked off that you can be a part of by going to sim500.com. And it's one of the funner races that you can run in this series, is they're able to get out here and do 2 and 3 wide stuff as Dalton gets shuffled out now. And that is because of this kind of racing And the trust amongst these drivers who have made hundreds of starts around each other in this series. Back here, Wesley Donaldson, Glenn Campbell. A lot of these guys hanging out. One car kind of blinking just a little bit there. Got to be aware of that. That could be a little trouble. Look at this. Don't get to say this often. The Ryan brothers kind of controlling both lanes as EJ pushes Jeff out to the front there. That's a pretty cool deal. I don't think I've ever said that in all the times I've broadcasted a race with both Jeff and Tommy. I mean, you got your top 23 cars running in this lead pack, and then you got a crew of guys way back here just kind of hanging out, minding their business and letting this race come to them later. Still 2x2 for the most part. Everybody being pretty patient. Haven't seen too many aggressive moves out there. I say that as Nelson Rivera gets kind of stuck in the middle there. The 28 of Doy Woods on his inside. Joey Jatina, the boss man, top side. He's got a few starts on the super speedways and actual ARCA racing in real life. He's up there climbing the banking in 3 and 4. 31 degrees around this track. And you're starting to see that outside line kind of form up here. And Trevor Hunt just got put into the wall. Looks like a couple other cars met Martell and others. No caution yet. And we're going to stay green because nobody really got sideways there, but cars colliding. And this is going to scatter. I see Calatoni with some rear end damage, and he might have a meatball and might be coming to pit road along with some others. So some unhappy people probably after that, and that's going to break this field apart. See if I can get us a replay here. Unfortunately, everything's scattered now, so let me go see if I can figure this out. And what brought them together happened down the back straightaway here. And saw some cars dart around there. Is that Randy Yoakum in the 8, or is that the... looks like I know the 59 got turned sideways. There's Yoakum in the 8 car. See if I can get us a better look at that again. Let's go crash cam on this. Oh, Dalton swung down into the 59. And it got a lot of cars out of shape. You see the 51 to 77 losing hoods. And everybody pretty much keeping it straight. No caution comes out. It looks like just a simple tail whip, if you will. Yeah, Tyler's trying to push Joey, just loses the back end there a little bit, and the contact with the 59. So, interesting. That's going to shake up this field a little bit, and they're going to have to draft together to get back up here, as now Jeff Ryan back to the front with help from his brother Tommy, and Josh Parker, who started in the back, is up here in the second row now in the outside lane. After all that now, let's see what we got here. Looks like about 15 cars now have pretty much caught together into this lead pack. And they're still gaining up here. Got some more here at about 16 through 20 maybe. As I see Scott Simley is going to get in this pack. And then you've got the gaps now with cars that have lost a draft or in other positions here. Trevor Hunt's gone to pit road. Robert Friery with damage. Anthony Calantoni has actually taken his car behind the wall. Matt Martell's gone behind the wall, it looks like, or at least is on pit road. So tough break there for those cars involved, but we stay green here. And I appreciate the viewers watching here on the Captain Esports Network. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you're not new, we appreciate you coming back and joining us this evening. Apparently, Max celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday to you, sir. Happy 21st. Haha. See the hoodless Randy Oakham back there in the 8 car holding on to this pack as we're 13 laps complete now. 100% fuel, so it's simply a race to lap 40. You get there, you can make it on fuel on one stop. Just a matter of, can you save enough fuel for a green-white checker if needed in this race? Now you see the other cars lined up here. All there with Brian Wortman trailing there in that green number 74. And back here in this back row, there's the teammates of Van Schaik and Mike Kelly, the 96 of Gerald Livingston, the 31 of Eric Arnold. Another car that you're going to see pretty aggressive there later on in this race as they catch the pack here. Ron Hollywoodfield, Kevin Stone, and Doug Sigmund all hanging on to this pack. And look who leads this race. Joey Jatina, the boss man up front. And they're going to come up on Robert Friery, who obviously was involved in that little kerfuffle, if you will. "34 years. All right. I know what that's like. Mike Kelly, something going on with Mike here? Oh, where is Mike Kelly going? A little too early to celebrate a win, but Mike Kelly going through the grass here. And he's going to lose the pack now. Oh, Daytona winner from February all of a sudden. Did he get a bad bump here? Did he drop his drink or something? What in the world? You see the 01 and 47 get the wall up there. Something happened there. I don't know what. Mike will probably tell me after the race. But, I mean, did he think we're at the NASCAR road course that they ran here twice? Kind of interesting. Hey, Mitch GG, appreciate you joining us. Mr. Chris DeWeese joining us. Hello to you, sir. Doug Middendorf, of course, Bully Dog Coffee Company and Media, joining us as always. And then Jonathan Thomas up there at the top saying hello. Hello to all of you. From Daytona here, 18 laps complete. Oh, that almost went bad. Schweiker thought he might be clear what to cut down in front of Tommy. And that almost went bad. Tyler Dalton hanging strong there in the 15th position. And we're going to take an opportunity here while we're under green. Let's step away and get a break in. Come back and get you more racing here from Daytona. It is the Sim500 NC811.org, your Grand National Series on the Captain Esports Network.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
Back we are. They're trying to wreck up here. That's pretty close amongst each other. Schweikert's stuck in the middle. You see Braxton kind of checking out. Here comes E.J. O'Rourke up the middle. Parker losing a lot of momentum with Doy Woods there as we cross the line. Look at his NC811 cars up front there as Tommy Ryan leads in the Northern Tool Camaro, that is. Cars strong in the pack, and there's about a 6-second gap back from the leader to Charles Van Schaik. It's only roughly, no, it is actually, it's 6 seconds from Jochen to Van Schaik here. So Livingston trying to push that 23 up there, and now Gerald's going to move up. I think he's going to abort and let Holyfield and these guys push, but the problem is now they're so spread out, it's only going to hurt this line of cars now. But the way these guys are racing up here, who knows what could come up. Getting that run, and they're taking advantage of it early in this race, already quarter distance in. And of course, you got to make it to that lap 20 mark in this race, or lap 40, I should say, if you want to get to pit road and make it one stop the whole way, which you should be able to do without a problem here. But obviously, if a yellow comes on, it's going to throw a big old wrinkle into everything here. E.J. O'Rourke getting shuffled out in that 41 car that lids number 41. I mentioned after tonight, it is 8 races before the playoffs begin here. In that tight battle, as we really start to get into the meat and potatoes, as they like to say, of the schedule. All over the place up here. They're getting a run and they're just taking it. You got I had the schedule pulled up. Apparently I didn't. Daytona tonight, Kansas next week. And it's Pocono on the 21st, 28th at the Milwaukee Mile. Then we hit Cinco de Mayo from Nashville Super Speedway, May 5th. And then we'll take Mother's Day off, go to Michigan, take Memorial Day off, and then from there, literally 3 races to get ready for the playoffs in Chicagoland, Watkins Glen, and Talladega, the final race before the playoffs. I mean, you only have a certain amount of time. You can lose points quicker than you can gain them, put it like that. So you want to get yourself in the right spot right now. Do it like McMillan and DeWeese and these guys up here near the top of the points, Tyler Dalton and others. Get yourself in the right position so that you can have these 1 or 2 rough races and find yourself in a spot where you can still compete for a championship. Bob Gillenwater there, you see inside of Schweikert, the lap car of Robert Fryery there in a 77. Stephen Miles behind him. There's Nelson Rivera. As you see that inside line, you got a lap car coming up on there. I think that's the 00. Brent Scott there in front of them in that 33 car. cars kind of moving around. A little unstable there. You see Jatina leading this pack. They're kind of getting a little squirrely at times here as they try to push. Of course, the air playing a big role in this and so much more. Playing a fellow. Oh, Josh Parker, a little D-Dido there, gets out of line. Oh, that car about went around. Good save on his part. Tomorrow, it has finally been set. The time is 11 a.m. tomorrow. If you are looking for something to do and want to see the solar eclipse live, I give you the opportunity to do it tomorrow at the Captain Esports Network. I'm going to drive somewhere between here and east, maybe even southeast a little bit, into where the totality is, where I'm currently sitting in Indiana. It is likely to get 99% totality, which is not 100%. I've learned in articles that I've read this week that with this whole solar eclipse thing, it's either you're in totality or you're not. So I was like, okay. So I'm going to go somewhere where it's 100% so we can be a part of it. And you're going to see it streamed live here on the YouTube channel from my phone. And we're going to have some fun with it. So come join us tomorrow. It's going to start around 11. Probably be driving with me, and we'll go wherever I decide to stop. If it's a rest area on the side of an interstate or a highway, if it's a park, I don't know. We'll see where I go. I've got a couple ideas of places. I'm going to look at the weather tonight. And the troubling part that we have right now is they've predicted 2 states to be out of the totality or out of the weather area. And what I mean by that is like no clouds or hardly any clouds. One of them's Indiana. We actually got rain here right now as it's going through. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting. I mean, it's going to be a lot of people around here. So where I'm going to go, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So I mean, I've got a couple of towns in my head, like Decatur, Indiana, or Van Wert, Ohio, in my head. Again, maybe even Bern, home of, I think it's the furniture capital of the world, by the way, Bern, Indiana. A lot of great Amish folk down there living and doing a lot of hard work. I think Deweeses want me to come to Miamisburg, probably. Is that what I'm getting out of that message there from Chris? I don't know if I'm good enough to go to Miamisburg, my guy. Just going to put that out there. But we're going somewhere. We're going to put the video up and let you guys watch the Eclipse live on the Captain Esports Network. And then come back and do the podcast for Discalicast, and then be back for racing tomorrow night for the Cup Series of Sim500 at Homestead Miami Speedway. We're going to do the makeup race that was supposed to be ran a couple weeks ago. Busy day tomorrow. As they put a lap on Mike Kelly, lap number 28 in the books. You see the field kind of spread out. Van Schaik and those guys now 8 seconds back. So they've lost a whole 2 seconds. With them not really getting settled, they need to get in line, and people just got to start pushing. I think they're trying to do the old tandem pattern where somebody pushes and then you go to the high side and everybody goes. But you've got to be organized to do that. You've got to have Livingston on the back of the 01. You've got to have the car behind Livingston here, pushing him, and so on and so forth. You've got to be lined up and tight to make a move like that happen. Otherwise, if one car jumps out of line, it breaks up the pack and kills the momentum of the whole thing. Now, are they communicating at all? Who knows? All I know is they've lost 2 seconds from the last time we checked in on them. Josh Parker, the 81 car. The unsponsored Toyota there at lap 30 is gets himself back up there after about wrecking the car there off turn 4 a little bit ago. Doing a pretty solid job as always. Say goodbye now to the lap car there of Trevor Hunt there in the 59. Gatlinburg. Oh, yeah, I could have told you that one. I mean, that's a fun place to go, but yes, that is... I was there literally November. As we have, family has season passes to Dollywood. Fun place to go, by the way. Jatina continues to swap out the lead with Tommy Ryan. Schweikert up there. Also, Jeff Ryan. Robert Scott having a great run in that 33 car. Nelson Rivera up there. And then you see Mike Kelly pushing his teammate Scott Simley, who won the truck race here on Wednesday night back in February. Appreciate all the viewers joining us here this evening. From Daytona, Chad Coleman, an expert on these super speedways. Hanging tight there in that WBD diecast number 38 car in the 14th position. Him and I were talking about, if you haven't seen the video yet, saw it on social media today, of a accident over in New Zealand somewhere. I think it was a street stock event or some kind of dirt street stock, and a car pretty much catapulting up into the top part of a catch fence. And of course in the video they're like, oh, we need taller catch fences. I mean, when a car gets catapulted 15 to 20 feet in the air, it's kind of hard for a catch fence to catch it. But it did its job. So did the power cable that was up there. Yeah, kind of a scary wreck there. Him and I were talking about that before the broadcast. Chad just kind of being patient, rolling out of the throttle here, just keeping an eye on things. This is one of those tracks, if you're not good at racing past the front hood of your car, probably doesn't suit your style. Because you got to be able to see from right here, you got to be able to see what's going on up there at the front of the pack. Like if I could commentate from here, I probably actually could. You see Schweikert up there on the bottom side, takes the lead. Jeff Reiner's to his inside, and you see they're 2x2 all the way back here. You got to look for any kind of move from this spot right here. If you're riding, and just kind of know what's coming, almost be ready to anticipate what can happen. And thankfully, these cars are pretty calm right now, so you can kind of trust what's going on. But if you start seeing cars getting darty and out of shape, you got to be ready to abort. And what can happen there? Right there, you see that? You see how that, what was that outside car? I think that was Jatina up there. You see him, how he kind of went low to middle to high? Those are those kind of moves you got to kind of watch. And let me put you in the driver's seat here for a second. It's the best thing I can do to try to show you, like, when I'm driving a super speedway race. I work at FedEx as a delivery driver, and we're taught to aim high in steering. And what that means is we want to look up ahead. So yes, I'm watching the back bumper of Wesley Donaldson, and as much as the rest of the pack I can here. I see the 00. You know, I can see all the way up to Josh Parker's car there in the right. All right, now you can see the whole entire pack, so you can kind of see where everybody's at. You see the 1 car kind of moving up here. He's going to make a move. 14's going to fall back to the 3. And this is all, I'm talking from my head right now, for those, kind of giving you a different insight here. You know, here you want to be kind of in the mirror, see what's coming behind you, know what's around you. Have the F3 button up so you can see what cars are around. And again, nobody really making any aggressive moves. You can kind of hang right here and ride. And then the other thing you have to look at now, 36 laps in the books. You're going to be pitting in the next 6 laps. So you need to get to the bottom pretty quickly. So yeah, not much going on in these guys' brains right now as they're racing. Not at all. They're just out here driving. Please. Oh, and around goes Tommy. What in the world happened there? Great save on his part. And it looks like Chad's going to back out and let him in line here and help him stay in the pack. And I just talked about anticipating what can happen. There's your moves. Tommy must have had a bad bump draft or something there. It sent him sideways. What a great save on his part. And that pushes Scott Simley to the front with help from Mike Kelly. See if I could find this steal just now with Tommy. It looks like it's right about here somewhere on the replay board. It was coming out of turn 2. You know what? I could already see what's happening. Schweikert's sitting on his left rear and turns him. Yep. You cannot get to the left rear of a car. It looked like Tommy was moving up to kind of avoid John getting to his left rear or moving to the top side there. But he got him. Let's watch this again. Number 1 rule, do not push in the left rear. Number 2 rule, you don't push in the corners unless you're comfortable with it. He did them both. Great save by Tommy. Oh, that's cool. Did you go to like some kind of, not medieval, but like, what kind of store is those called? Where you do everything with like the fire and, forgive me for being naive here. No pun intended. But like those, you kind of put them in the fire and they kind of mold themselves into a spike or whatever. That's cool, though. If I'd known you were going, Doug, I'd have give you some suggestions of places to check out there. Good some blacksmith. Thank you, Chris. There's some great restaurants over in that area, especially Pigeon Forge. Some great venues to go enjoy. Heck, I can give you some hotel ideas, some places that my wife and I will stay at. It's funny, my 5-year-old daughter calls it Dollywood's house, where we stay. It's kind of weird. It's a hotel. All right, so 40 laps complete. We hit the halfway point this time by, which means the window is open. Who's going to be the first to pull it down pit road here? Now, sneaky move here. If these guys back here could get more organized, these guys could come to pit road and get in there, get their stuff done. And if a yellow comes out, as these guys are on pit road or whatnot, or even they can work together, they could maybe catch these guys a little bit. But easier said than done move right there, because especially when you're 15 seconds off the lead pack right now. And expect team moves. And what I mean by that is you'll probably see like the team name guys who's on that channel. There's only a few of them there tonight, but I think you're going to see a lot of the Sim500 Mafia guys that are here tonight. You'll probably see those guys make moves together here. So I would say watch this 4, watch this 14 right here, watch the 19. These guys right here, when they dive off, they're all coming together. Might be coming right here. They're getting pretty spread out. Coleman's going to the top side, taking a run here. I think we're about to see them come to pit road, guys. Here they come. Do not make mistakes. Everybody in clean, it looks like. 6 cars on pit road. And it looks like some of the second crew coming in too here. Van Schaik, Burke, Arnold, all these guys here. So the back half of the field also should be 2 tires, maybe 4 in fuel. Looks like 4 in fuel for most of them. Trevor Hunt's going to sit back and wait on Tommy Ryan here. Teammate move right there. Jeff Ryan, they're all going to pull out of here together. So Trevor, he knows he's out of the race, but he's going to sit back and help his teammate out. Joey Jatina, 24-second stop. Not sure what that's about. As here come the leaders. Again, no spotters on pit road here, so you got to know where everybody's at. Know where you're pitting. Right, oh, there's contact. There's more contact. I just said know where you're pitting. And look at Wesley Donaldson overshooting his pit stall. So one thing that people, it's so easy to forget when you're in a car is that you do not have a spotter on pit road. When you're, unless you have somebody in the car with you or in channel spotting for you, the iRacing spotters, crew chief app, whatever, does not spot. So the best thing you have to do, again, is have the knowledge and have the, oh, hold on, Fuller. You got to be able to know inside your head, okay, I started in this position. If you started towards the back, you're going to have an earlier pit stall. If you started mid-pack, you're going to be somewhere here in the middle, obviously, and you got to have somewhat of some knowledge of who pitted or who started where, so that you know if your stall's coming first or last, so you chop somebody's nose off. A lot to it. Oh, by the way, do it all in, 40 seconds you were on pit road there. All right, 45 laps in the books. And we shuffle through pit stops here. Let's step away and hear from 811 and come back and get you more racing here. We are past halfway at Daytona on the Captain Esports Network.
When do you plan on putting in that new fence we've been talking about since last summer?
I guess I could start tomorrow.
Protect the ones you love and protect your buried utilities by contacting 811 before you dig, either by phone, the web, or the NC811 app. Know what's below before you dig. Visit nc811.org to learn more.
All right, 45 laps complete. You see the racing picking up as Tyler Dalton takes the lead. Mike Kelly right there in the 2 car. He is on the tail end of the lead lap right now, as he was able to get out front here during the pit stops. Now, I want to go back to the stops here just a second ago, and I was kind of trying to explain this to you. All right, so right here, the 1 car of John Schweikert comes to pit road. The 3 car of Jeff Ryan is on the inside lane. Jeff started 3rd, so he knows he's got a later pit stop. So he moves to the outside. Smart move on his part. Obviously, Joey knows he's going to pit early here, starting late in the field, and so on and so forth. So these guys were all smooth coming to pit road, right? So now let's go to a lap later. Eric Arnold, and this is the late pack coming into pit road, right? Everybody, again, knowing where they start and so on and so forth. So now let's go to the pit stops with Bob Gillenwater. So Bob Gillenwater started in the 10th position. Brent Scott started in 20th. So who's going to have the first pit stall? It's going to be Brent Scott, right? But look at this. You're 3 wide on pit road. Tyler Dalton's good. He started 2nd. He knows he's fine where he's at. Brent's got to check up, clips him. Dory Woods is down there because he's coming. And you got contact everywhere. And Wesley Donaldson overshoots his pit stall. So a whole lot of calamity there. And those are the kind of moves that can cost you getting in the pack and being in contention for this win in this race. So looks like for most of them it worked out, but we got 3 different packs now of cars here at lap 48. So you got this front pack of 15 cars counting Mike Kelly. You've got a pack of 4 here. And then you've got Joey Jatina back here who had a very slow stop. Not sure what happened to the 14. But he's got a couple lap cars here with him. And there's actually a 4th pack, which is here with Paul and Van Schaik and these guys. They'll catch Joey very quickly and probably add them to the pack of cars. And a lot of these guys need that yellow to come out. They want to have a chance to win this race in Daytona. But just the 1 caution, or sorry, we didn't even have a caution in this race so far. It's been caution free. We had the 1 wreck, but it did not bring out a yellow. Everybody's done a good job of being patient for the most part. Just had that A couple of little tangles here and there, and that's been about it. So 31 laps to go. Chad Coleman, E.J. O'Rourke. Coming up into this pack now. You see Doy Woods ended up okay after that slight contact. Yeah, I go back to, I think I've said this before at a race here. I go back to the Daytona 500 I won back in February on iRacing. One of the things I was doing, it's something I'd never really done before, but I started doing it in that race because I had thought about these league races that I broadcast. People think I don't learn stuff when I'm watching. I do. And one of the things that came to my mind was pit stops. And so one thing I did, and I actually caught a couple people off guard, and once I explained it, they were like, oh, it made sense. But if I was running in a pack with, like, say, Doy Woods in front of me, I would key the radio up in iRacing and say, hey, Doy, where did you start? Of course, they'd be like, what? I'd be like, where'd you start? Oh, I started 13th. And I started, like, I don't know, in the back because I don't even think I qualified or something. I don't remember exactly. But I knew, like, for instance, if I started 28th, okay, I'm pitting before that guy. So best bet for me is to be towards the inside lane, coming to pit road, let Doy have the outside lane so that I can go to my stall without a problem. He goes to his without a problem. A lot of communication goes a long way in these kind of races. As cars are scrambling a little bit up there. Going around a lap car, some contact there. As to go around Ron Holyfield in the 21 car. Here's 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th, a pack of their own. Yoakum and Hudson and Donaldson and DeWeese, and these guys are unfortunately losing a lot of time to E.J. O'Rourke and those guys in this head pack here. Here comes Parker topside. Glenn Campbell, you've got cars on both sides, my guy. Oh! How did they not wreck right there? Fuller had a huge run on Miles, had to get out of it and moved up the track, and they hit each other. And somehow they did not wreck. It definitely broke them up a little bit. If I can get you what happened there. That was scary looking. Just jumping on board with Fuller, and all of a sudden you see him catching a pack at about a 20 or about a 10-mile-an-hour difference. Oh, getting dancy here. There's the check. I mean, Fuller just comes up and, well, I guess I looked a lot worse in car than it did. Tyler Dalton celebrating his Gamecocks winning the women's national title earlier today in basketball. I told him earlier in a joking way, I said, Tyler, you don't have to worry about winning a championship for your state anymore. 5 laps to go. Good to go to the finish on fuel. Unless we go to overtime, then it could get interesting. But Scott Simley there on the bottom of that 12 car, looking to take his team to victory lane. He's got help from a lap car of Mike Kelly. Right to his outside's another lap car of Trevor Hunt, who's trying to help Tommy Ryan and others from the Unacceptable Racing team. As Mike Kelly said, I've seen enough of this. Matter of fact, I think this is a good opportunity to I won't do it. I was going to bring Mike up, but it's probably not a good time. He's probably not a happy camper. Made that choice to abort. There's that pack as we get away from for a split second there, and just showing you this long line of cars back here of about 10 or so, 10 to 12, 15 cars, somewhere in that range. Back here just trying to get a yellow or trying to catch up. Right now they're so far back of 19 seconds. I mean, about half the track back is that pack. That rhymes. Oh, I thought it would go 4 wide for a second. No, not now. EJ O'Rourke might be the best spot here right now in this pack. Just got to chill back here. EJ won the first Sunday broadcast that we did of the Xfinity Series from Sim500 and the NC811 Xfinity Series a couple seasons ago. That time he had a personal comfort car, and now he's got lids on it, or units on his car. Of course, units was on the truck of Timmy Hill a couple nights ago when he got kind of mad at Stuart Friesen. I posted a photo in the Discord here kind of poking fun at EJ because EJ helps Timmy a lot at the track. And lo and behold, as Timmy's interviewing with FS1, who's sitting in the background against the wall? EJ O'Rourke. It's like, EJ, you gonna go beat up Stuart? What is going to happen? There's cars back there at 2, 3 wide here. As I mentioned, the spread out pack. They are not going anywhere right now, as spread out as they are. I hate to be the brutal, honest truth guy here, but you see Charles is pushing the 47, doing all he can. He's got Arnold there, but then there's gaps. And those little gaps, believe it or not, play a role in the draft. Almost kind of pushed the car up to the edge. Oh, Campbell's in the wall. Did a good job getting off of it. Jeff Ryan having a great run tonight, hoping to put that 3 into victory lane. John Schweikert getting pushed by the 59. There's Tommy Ryan behind Trevor, just kind of being the halfback that rides behind his fullback. Sometimes in football, it takes a good fullback to get through the defensive line and break that 60-yarder for a touchdown or whatever. Oh. I think, was that O'Rourke got the wall back there? Once again, thank you, viewers, for watching here tonight. Appreciate you guys coming back. I know we took a week off, literally, from broadcasting. And came back Wednesday night. And appreciate those guys who have come back to join us here. And we hope to see you continuously throughout, as we're on the air a lot now here the next few weeks. The only nights we're going to be off after pretty much last night We're here tonight. We're going to be here every night through Saturday. And then Saturday we're off for a night, and we're right back at it again Sunday. So hopefully, if you got nothing to do at night sometimes, come join us on the Captain Esports Network. Watch some racing in one of the leagues that we broadcast. And I promise you a good time no matter what. Either on the racetrack or I might find something entertaining to do here in the booth or something. Trust me, if I have to, I'll just pull up the weather map or something, talk weather. I don't know. I'll figure something out. 18 laps to go, though. Great racing here at Daytona. Been caution-free. Waiting for a potential storm to blow up right here in front of us, but these guys have been racing hard and putting on good stuff. Couple units cars teaming up topside there is Fuller getting a push from O'Rourke, who's getting a push from Parker, who O'Rourke is playing ping pong with the wall. Oh, they're getting out of shape. They're dancing everywhere. This is crazy. They've pulled out to 21 seconds. It's 2 packs now, by the way. Everybody's come together, so to say. You got the first pack of 14 cars, and then you got the rest of the field together in a pack. And, I mean, there is a storm brewing right here. Oh. Schweikert moves to the back there. I thought he and EJ were going to get together there mid-pack. We've got, 28 cars in the lead lap. Mike Kelly, the first one a lap down, of course, after his little stroll through the grass. That I'm sure I'll find out what happened here after the race. Outside line getting the advantage here as Parker moves down there on Jeff Ryan. Going to take this bottom side with the momentum and see if he can roll to the front. And the main reason I keep it just to let everybody know who's joining us. Like, hey, how come he's just sticking on this one pack? Just to kind of show you. The rest of the field is literally single file chasing each other. As I think they're just waiting for something to happen amongst these guys here. Usually it does. Usually I go back to Talladega earlier this season, had some pretty clean racing, and then we got to the lap 5 laps to go or so, and all hell broke loose. And I think tonight we could see the same. If not, we actually go clean to the finish. Who knows? Anything can happen on these super speedways, and when you have a talent level of Sim500, of guys with very high I ratings, and you got to be aware of what's going to happen as EJ puts Jeff, or tries to put him 3 wide, but Tommy goes to the aid of his brother. As Schweikert's going to come up there, and here comes Miles into the middle. Tommy's going to have his teammate there, Trevor Hunt, as I mentioned, to his outside, or to behind him if he can get to him. These cars are dancing. Chad Coleman just hanging out, watching. Kyle Schweikert's got all types of things around him. There's Dalton. There's Simley. There's Josh Parker. Got that window and out this window, or out the rear here. He's got Miles pushing. There's Tommy Ryan to his outside. Over here, he's got Tommy. It's Jeff. Cars everywhere. New York City traffic at 200. Or about 190. Really no margin for error here. If you hit, it could be interesting. Right here, your car almost gets light. It's not as big as with banking as the 31 degrees in the corners. As EJ and Fuller lean on each other all of a sudden. Trying to make one big unit, apparently. We're coming to 10 laps to go, and I still got to squeeze in another break here. Somewhere! Thank God I don't have a producer in my ear like, we need to go to break, we need to go to break. I'll find a spot. Ten laps to go. I mean, there are some moves being made out here right now. I'm like, oh my gosh. You do not see league racing like this often. I can name two of them. One of them races on Friday night. The other one's here on the Captain Esports Network. Both series can be watched. And that's not to discredit any other league. It's just the way I see it. All right, 9 laps to go. I'm about to pull the broadcaster's jinx out here in a second. I'm sorry in advance. Step away real quick and hear a word from 811 and get back for the finish here on the Captain Esports Network.
What a nice day to install my new mailbox.
Hi there, friend. I'm Dig Safely Man. My job is to ensure you call 811 before you dig.
Why do I need to do that?
Vital utilities like natural gas and electric run just beneath the Earth's surface. Damaging them can cause service interruption, environmental hazards, or personal injury.
I thought only contractors had to call before they dig, so homeowners do too.
Call 3 business days before you dig unless you have X-ray vision. Visit nc811.org to learn more.
We almost made it! We almost made it! Caution's out. 8 laps to go. I was starting to say yes, 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 as then they wrecked. Caution is out. The big one hits. And I just pulled the TV move. It happened. Caution during a commercial. Come on. Oh, boy. Viewers, trust me, I feel your pain sometimes here. But big shout out to 811. All right, let's see what happened. I saw Gerald Livingston had to go to pit road for some reason in the highlights. I was literally looking over to my left. And I was like, all right, good so far, good so far, good so far. And then I started seeing people move, and I'm like, uh-oh. It looks like it starts at Scott Simley here. Oh, right there, and the EJ and the 3 come together, and I mean, the whole front pack pretty much wads it up. Looks like Jeff or something maybe got loose or something there. EJ, Tyler, Fuller. Kelly's going to lose a lucky dog. He's in the grass. Hunt. The 44 Campbell, Chad Coleman gets now. That's pretty much the whole front pack. Just got involved in this wreck. Miles gets damage. On board with Coleman here. He's towards the middle of this here. Gillenwater with an interesting move there. All right. The view from Bob. He might have got away with this one. I mean, he's going to get EOL'd right there because of just automatically from iRacing. I'll take that penalty over anything. The Hunt gets involved. How about Nelson Rivera? Hit the stop button before it breaks loose. It's already breaking loose. 22 now up to the third position. I think Nelson gets through this. Let's enjoy this one. Because there are not many clean cars left. Hood's going everywhere. He just checks up and he actually wrecks himself almost hitting on the brakes. Or did he get clipped? I'll take that over anything. Watch out for that car. So you can blame me for the big wreck, going to commercial and trying to hope it doesn't happen. Alright, so let's get reset here because we got one to go this time. And we are going to have 4 laps to go when we get the green, and this is not any kind of overtime or anything like that. We got to get to 2 to go for that to happen. But John Schweikert leads. Doy Woods, who's got damage there in second. You see Rivera third. And then the rest of this field behind them, remember the cars that were 20 seconds back? All of them. Which consists of Joe Hudson, Eric Arnold, Charles Van Schaik, Wesley Donaldson, Sean Burke, Kevin Stone, Braxton DeWeese, Gerald Livingston, Scott Simley, and Hall in the 47, Doug Sigmund, Joey Jatina was back there, Yoakum was back there, Wortman, Brent Scott, and then you got the cars that have the damage. As they're trying to get back up here into this pack, there's Miles, Bob Gillenwater, Campbell coming off of pit road, Tommy Ryan, Jeff Ryan still on pit road, Parker's gone behind the wall, EJ O'Rourke's gone behind the wall. As for Wesley Donaldson, this guy right here in the 91 car. When we were last here, if it wasn't Mike Kelly going to victory lane, it was Wesley Donaldson. Went out and won a dual race, won the Clash, was involved in the first track at Daytona in the 500K, but then came back, won Atlanta the next week. Good to Domino's fall back in the 91's column again. Who, by the way, was the guest on the Scalicast last week. If you didn't get a chance, check out that Thursday interview with Wesley Donaldson as we come back to the green in his WBD diecasting we talked about. Really cool deal there. Thanks for Wesley for coming on last week for the interview. Single file, the first 3 cars. And they're pretty spread out here. And Chad Coleman, I mean, you've had days and then you've got a car like that. Chad Coleman is driving the Sam Hornish Special out here at Daytona. It's come to the start-finish line, 3 wide with Kevin Stone as Schweikert leads, 3 to go. Appreciate you guys who have watched this here this evening. And invite you back tomorrow for the solar eclipse that we're going to do live here on the Captain Esports Network. If you're a big science person, I just want to be a part of it, and I want the viewers to enjoy it. If you guys are like in another area that you won't see it, you come watch on the stream. Coming to 2 laps to go in this NC811.org Grand Xfinity. I keep calling it Grand National. It's the way it used to be called. Series here from Daytona. 2 to go. As they go by Jeff Ryan, whose promising run ended in that big wreck. And if you're in it, you can win it. Find a partner and do-se-do. A little bit of damage on that 28 might be hurting them. Ooh, Arnold's getting a little loose off that 43. They get back to the flag. If they get back to the flag as Doy goes sideways, and here they go. They will not make it back to the flag. Schweiker, Joey Jatina, Sigmund. Heavy damage on the 43 of Hudson. Carnage. You know, a lot of cars scattered to pit road when that happened. Where it started here. Started off turn 4, just trying to see where in the accident it could have started. Let's go right in here somewhere. Okay, so right. Let's back it up a little bit more. We're close. Still close. Alright, there's a yellow flag word, so let's go here. Alright, so come on, we're still too close. Trying to back it up far enough. Here we go. It's still too close, kind of. I want to set it up a little bit here. All right, so here we go. This gives us a little bit of time. So it's going to happen, it looks like, right around Nelson Rivera. Let's go crash cam and see how this all goes. Otherwise known as far chase. It's a bump from Van Schaik there as Braxton Deweese goes outside here. Obviously, they're coming to the white flag here, so you want to get everything you can get now. Ooh, that was a lick. So from what I see, I gotta watch this. I gotta slow it down and see this because that is very interesting where Doy sits. I couldn't tell if he got loose or I'm gonna slow it down here in a second. Got Schweiker to his inside there. Is there some kind of right there? There's contact with Arnold, but is that what triggered? Hudson gets to the 31 right there, gives him a push. Yeah, I think so. 31 gets to the 28. 28 gets loose. Everybody starts kind of checking, and big net code off the 22. And the 43 here takes a lick right there. A couple on boards we might have to check out here. On board with Miles. He makes it through. Nice job on his part. Simley looks like gets through there. Gerald Livingston gets through. I think Joey Jatina gets through there mostly unscathed. On board with the boss man here. And Joey saw it coming. He got out of it. That's that looking up. Oh, and he T-bone stakes on Schweikert. That's probably going to hurt the nose. All right. Well, let's set it up for you. Eric Arnold in the 31 car leading this race. As we're going to have overtime. Scott Simley second. Kevin Stone. Paul's there in fourth. And then Joey Jatina somehow is fifth. Either broken nose or whatever. He's up there in fifth right now. Gerald Livingston sixth. Brian Wortman seventh. Stephen Miles eighth. Wesley Donaldson. Bob Gillenwater, your top 10. As we go to overtime, 2 chances to get back to the white flag. To see who can win this 811.org Xfinity race from Daytona. Arnold with a pretty good start. Has help from Kevin Stone behind him. A lot of potential first-time winners right here. How about Gerald Livingston up there in that outside lane? Brian Wortman's in this pack. Braxton DeWeese is in this pack with a chance. Oh, Joey gets turned. Off the front end of Simley and takes the 47 with him. No caution as they stayed down. Here comes Miles to the outside with help from Wesley Donaldson. And there's more contact and wrecking. Cautions breed cautions. Let's go back and watch the restart here. Again, Joey had a little bit of damage, and I don't know if this played a role or not. He moves up there to Scott to get the run. And Scott just gets in the back of him. I think he just had the momentum there. Those two turn each other. Joey smashes the inside wall. Big break there for the 47. Looks like he's actually going to be okay. Then they go down to turn 3. And carnage. Oh, and Kelly comes in there hot. Oh, he'll get picked on for that one. And a lot of cars coming in to either get damage fixed or... Yeah, Kelly actually was checking up. I've seen worse than that, especially here. I've seen a couple others that are laughable, usually later in the race. All right, let's... Mr. Fuller says to check his point of view. Fuller's going to he's going to backdoor a win here. Come on, Fuller. Stays off of Wesley and works his way through. That's pretty solid work. Let's look one more time here at let's actually go back to where it all started here, and let's go to the crash cam. It's actually going to start right up in here somewhere. Was there oh, right there, net code between Wortman and Livingston. Brent Scott's going to get clipped from Gillenwater there. Hey, here's Mike Kelly, by the way. This poor guy. Trying to miss it. No ammo into Doug Sigmund. Locks it down, and yet Mike Kelly is running in the 11th position right now after being a lap down. Yeah, one more time here. Let's go full speed with Mike, and we can all laugh at this one together. And watch Mike finds a way to win this race again. Hey, he was trying to get through there without it. Yeah, you can maybe call that a slight arc of braking, but you're coming to the white flag. You got to do what you got to do. I don't blame him. Where's Coleman at? One last guy I want to ride with here because Chad has a really interesting predicament right now as he's crabbing around here right now. Literally, look at this thing. Yeah, whammo into Clint Campbell, and there goes Kelly. He's probably trying to straighten his steering out. All right, well, one last time to try it again. Is it finally Eric Arnold's turn to go to victory lane? Is it Stephen Miles' turn to go to victory lane? How about Gerald Livingston in third? Gerald's had some health issues and stuff, and came back towards the end of last season. Runs down to third position. Braxton DeWeese there outside in sixth. So you've got Justin Fuller, who's got some wins in this series. He was 15 last checked. And then you got a lot of guys who have not been to victory lane. And there's not many cars in one piece left. So that's gone from what? A clean race for roughly all but 10 laps to Destruction Derby. Yes, here we go. Going to come back to the green. Attempt number 2 Green-white checker. Sim500 overtime. Here we go. Scott jumps to the outside on the 5. Well, he timed that one perfect. All right, looks like the 5's actually off the pace, so he might have really timed that perfect. Can they get back? All they got to do is get to the white flag. And after that, you can wreck all you want to. Livingston pushing to 31, to 55, pushing to 24. They're leaning on each other. Here we go. Final lap. We make it back to the white flag. Scott trying to figure out where he's going to go. Nelson Rivera. Here comes Kevin Stone. 8 cars racing for the win here. Miles with the block on Fuller. Fuller pops out with the run. Who can get to whose back bumper to help? Side draft. Racing to the line as Miles gets turned, and Miles wins. And gets clobbered by Wortman. If I'm seeing this right, Miles by 5 1/1000ths. You might as well just burn it down. That car is destroyed. I want to make sure iRacing didn't have this difference. We had this happen a couple weeks ago. And he's like, I'm not even going to do it, Victor. I'm going right over here and start celebrating. I think it just kicked Miles because he's going backwards up the track. Well, that's one way to celebrate. Let's go back to the finish here. I mean, that was just nuts. Well, give me a second. I'll find the replay here. It's somewhere in these highlights. All right, there's the green. Oh, that's the last restart still. Problems when everybody passes everybody out here. It's like 100,000 highlights that I have to go click on here. All right, white flag. Here's the final lap here. Miles throws a big block on that on the 55 of Fuller. Right there. I mean, Fuller could have turned him, but he kept it clean there with him. Arnold was there. Brent Scott really didn't have much help there on the outside lane, and then Fuller was able to pop out right there, just trying to get enough momentum. And Miles kind of held him up a little bit here, and then Arnold got to his bumper and turned him. And I mean, that was close. I mean, that's as close as it can get. That's That's going to be your best view right here. I mean, you can't get any closer than that. I mean, I got to frame this, actually. Let's, I mean, wow. me check iRacing, make sure it didn't. Okay, they got him disqualified. Never mind. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to win this race. And he only got disqualified because he went backwards back to do donuts. But look how close this is to the start finish. I mean, Miles is right front, touches that yellow. And you can still see a little bit of gap between the yellow and the front end of the unit's car. I mean, I go to the next frame here. It's that close. Wow. All right, let's see if the results might have... Well, they still got Miles up there, so let's get you the results here from Daytona in what was a phenomenal and wild race. Well, actually, no, it has Fuller up there, so I don't know. This is unofficial here, but Fuller, it says wins. Obviously, I think Miles is actually the winner unless they went ahead and made that ruling. We'll have to see. I'm pretty sure that Miles is the winner, but we'll see. Arnold... It says second, Scott, Stone, Livingston, Rivera, Gillenwater, Hall, Reynolds, Wortman, Kelly, Donaldson, Simley, Sigmund, and Campbell. I'm not saying the position numbers only because of just the of the finishing order. Excuse me. Tyler Dalton, DeWeese, Yoakum, Coleman, Ryan, and then there's Miles there. Holyfield, Jeff Ryan, Friery, Jatina. You've got O'Rourke, Burke, Hudson, Schweikert, Woods, Van Schaik, Parker, Hunt, Callan, Tony, and Matthew Martell, the 35 finishers, racers in the race tonight. Unfortunately, only a few could get to the finish line when it was all said and done here this evening. And backing up one more frame there to... There are little tricks I can do here, by the way. Let's... That usually zooms in. Try and do it without a zoom like this. Here we go. We're going to look at it all night. Just for you, Justin. Yeah, so that was pretty close. All right, let's get to third place here. And Eric Arnold. And congratulations to you, Eric. Obviously, a fun race, a chance for you to go to victory lane when it was all over with, and just coming up a little short there.
Yeah, Kevin Stone was working with me, and he forgot to take enough fuel or something, so I think I'd be in victory lane if he had enough gas.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, you got down to the end of it there. And some tight racing, and obviously you put yourself in the right spot. Normally a race where you're one of the guys that we talk about being aggressive and stuff, but yeah, obviously just the way it worked itself out tonight, you found yourself kind of not being aggressive until towards the end of that race.
Well, not being aggressive got me put half a lap back because of checking up for the first wreck that didn't bring out a caution. Then yeah, it all came together, and I was just able to make the right moves, and it was a fun race. Good win to I think his name's Steven. Good race to Justin. It's like, no, that was fun, man. It's finally nice to finish a race. Like I've been getting wrecked Sunday nights, I swear, every week.
Yeah, I was wondering with your luck how it was all going to work out here, but now obviously you get that long green flag run. Were you kind of scared to think, hey man, this might go like all the way green, or were you pretty confident that eventually this race would break out?
I mean, we normally run these long green flag runs on super speedways, and then there's always everybody starts pushing harder and harder to the end, and it's the same way. It's just we're all racing hard. We all can. Sim500 is really good about racing at these super speedways and how we race, and we can race 3 wide for several laps. But I was sure there'd be a caution in the last 5 or so laps. It always happens when everybody's like, hey, I want to win, so we're going to start throwing Hail Marys.
Well, it worked out for you tonight, finishing third, just short of going to victory lane here tonight, but a good night for points, reasons, and stuff like that. So send some shout-outs whoever you like to.
I'm hoping my wife is pregnant wife is watching me. We got a few more weeks, and I'll be a dad for the first time. So excited for that. And thanks to you, Chris, and your awesome broadcast, and Joey, Wesley, and Tyler, all the admins who do a whole bunch for this series.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations on the little one incoming. And go enjoy your time before it gets here, because life's going to change.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely, buddy. Eric Arnold finishing in the third position here tonight, as I'm sure Fuller and Miles are down here probably chatting it up or whatever, but Mr. Justin finishes in the second position. I was debating if I wanted to interview or just let it keep going. Or keep going.
I was wondering, because we were all sitting down there waiting, we were all quiet, and I'm just like, I don't know what he's doing, so I went and checked the broadcast, and I'm like, oh, we're still looking at this finish.
Yeah.
Happened 10 minutes ago.
Hey, at least I'm not Fox. I showed the finish, but no.
Well, that's true.
Hey, obviously some tough racing out there tonight. You put yourself in the right spot. You and EJ were battling it out, and you just continue this little hot streak no matter where you're at.
Oh, this is the first plate race that I finished, even though I had a significant amount of damage from that big wreck. So we'll take it. Our team was going for 10 in a row there for Premier Series wins here at Sim500, though. So kind of shot that streak down, but that's all right. Congrats to Steven. He did a good job. I pushed him out there to the front, and then he did a good job blocking me down the back stretch there. And thought I was going to have him at the line, but when Eric hit him, it just shot him forward, and he had enough momentum to get him across the line there. So congrats to him. It was a fun race, though, to the end, that's for sure.
It's got to be kind of hard not knowing who's got what damage on their cars, because, I mean, there really wasn't a non-damaged car at the end of that race.
Well, I mean, as long as you get your damage fixed with this new damage model and you don't have engine damage, you'll be all right, because, I mean, they just fix these cars up so well, so, which is kind of realistic, really, especially these plate tracks,
Right.
You know, all these big teams, when they get their cars fixed, doesn't matter how much damage they got, they're running right up front, so as long as it's not, like, significant suspension damage and engine damage and stuff like that.
Just got to wait and get the tape flying everywhere, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I'm looking over here at the point standings. Of course, I knew tonight would be kind of a wild card. And you're there 24th, and obviously you've not made half as many starts. I mean, you've only made this your 7th start tonight. So I think realistically, there's a shot still for you to get there.
Yeah, we're definitely climbing. So that's a positive. I don't think I'm 24th. I'm 17th. So,
yeah, so that was entering this race. Let me correct myself. So yeah, you jumped up 7 spots. So
yeah, I'm 17th now. So,
you're there now.
I mean, if you look at my results, I think I finished top 5 every race except for Atlanta, which was my first race of the season. So yeah, I finished second, third, first, third, first. So
that's impressive.
Oh, they got to edit the results tonight because Steven DQ'd himself. So so it'll be a second, third, first, third, second. With a 36, so it's been a really good season. I'm really focused on trying to finish these races, and you know, normally when I run the whole season, I kind of just I make sure I go for the win.
Right.
I might race on the edge a little bit farther than I would normally, but knowing that I started the season late, I have to get all the points that I can get to try and make the playoffs. So I'm really laser focused, trying to show what I can do, and hopefully make it to the playoffs and make a run at the championship. I've only ever won Truck Series championships since 500, so. It'd be nice to add something else to that trophy case.
Well, you definitely got the momentum going for you right now with the way you're gone. You've made almost 50% of the starts as everyone else, and yet you're sitting right there on the border of going to the playoffs already. So you've done enough already on the successful side. Now you just got to keep it consistent. So great job on that, man. Congratulations, and send some shout-outs.
Yeah, we got some good tracks coming up too. Kansas is a good one. Pocono's a good one. So we got some good tracks coming up, and hopefully keep the momentum rolling. But thanks for you putting on the broadcast. Thanks to yeah, hang on a second. Who sponsors this series? I can't remember.
811.
And 811. Thanks for them sponsoring the series. Thanks to Sim500, all the admins for what they do. Thanks to everybody that watched, and yeah, looking forward to next week, Kansas. See what we can do there. Get off these plate tracks. It's always a chess match. So, and I'm not very good at chess. So. We're looking forward to getting back to the real racetracks.
There you go. Click them heels, go to Kansas, and sun's going to be back out, so should be interesting.
Yep.
All right,
have a good one.
You too, buddy. Justin Fuller finishing second here tonight. And, you know, obviously, I mean, seeing those points the way they are, man, having a guy that's made 6, 7 starts now and is already sitting in 16th in points or 17th in points, and you only got to get to 16th to get in. And knowing that the rest of this field has ran 12 races, that's pretty impressive to be able to do. It just shows you how strong he's been this season. And of course, one of the other drivers who's been strong, he's had his ups and downs. He's come close to going to victory lane, and now tonight, Stephen Miles, you have officially, gone to victory lane and DQ'd yourself in a race at Sim500.
Well, it's the first time for everything, man.
Right. Congrats, man. You were ready for this race. I remember you come and talk to me when we were watching the Cup race earlier, and you're like, man, I got you ready for tonight. And you put yourself in the right spot, so it looked like at times you were wadded up with everyone else.
Yeah, it was a typical race in this league, man. Long green flag runs, good close racing, a lot of good saves, and can't do nothing but applaud these drivers of this league, man. To get to that final 10, everybody going for glory or trying to get that checker, and a little inch or a little mistake of that, and you ruin everybody's day. And that first one with 10 or 8 to go or something like that, I felt like I was finna make it through. It's just somebody got in my back, got me loose into Dalton, and tried my best to just keep it straight. But I got like a minute and 39 seconds of damage, so I just came in and repaired that one and had enough, I guess, of a brake pedal the last two to miss those and have some luck. And there at the end, I just was in a perfect spot right there on the outside. Had to make sure I got a restart with the leader to stay there and get a side drive. Had an excellent pusher and Fuller. I knew that just looking at my rear view that he was going to try to get me up there and probably try to go for himself. And I just wanted a good finish from since I finished so bad last week. One of those, I think it was my worst finish of the year. So I just wanted to bounce back and capitalize so I could remain in the top 5 of the points. And right there at the end, I dropped in front of Eric, and I knew Justin. I knew the outside line was the line to be, and I just never. I always remember looking at the track. I was just chasing my rear view and trying to make sure he stayed behind me. And there at the end, he had a run, and I thought he had me, and I moved up to try to side draft him a little bit, and realized I left a little bit of a hole, so I tried to get back down. And when I got that bump, when I got spun, I was just looking at the relative trying to see if I was gonna change the first or second, and for some reason I just felt like that bump probably the reason I won. So I have to thank Eric for this win too. Even though both of them drafted with me, got me up there, I gotta thank them. And man, I told you earlier, I feel like this is a crapshoot. Usually in the 99 and Dalton dominate this race like they was earlier, and I said I was gonna be aggressive and stay up front and not chill in the back, and I came through for it tonight.
Yeah, you did your part, and I know you've focused when we've talked. Obviously, we got the podcast we do together and stuff. You've talked about your biggest thing you wanted to do this season was earn the respect of this league, and now 12 races in, how do you feel?
I don't think I didn't earn it. I haven't earned it yet. I think a full season and a lot more close racing. But some of the peers reached out to me on Facebook or anytime they can, and told me how I drive, and they respected me, and I respected them. Looked up to them. Been watching this league for a long time with Joey and all them, and I don't think I ain't earned completely all their respect, but I'm probably on the good side of the fence with that. And tonight, I don't think I ruffled anybody's feathers. I raced clean, and I threw that block at the end. I felt bad, but I had to do what I do to get the win.
No, absolutely. Last lap, I think you got to do whatever you got to do. And 5/1000ths of a second is what it ended up being. Your right front got to the line before his nose. It was that close.
So turning right kind of helped me then.
Yeah, that turning right to go left thing that Lightning McQueen taught us worked. But great job on your part, man. Welcome to Victory Lane at Sim500, and send a shout out whoever you like to.
Appreciate you, man. Best broadcaster out there. You do a hell of a job. You sacrifice a lot to do this stuff, man. So I have to respect it. Everybody has to respect that. Shout out to Scholarcast. Debut every Tuesday with me, you, and Taylor, one of the best short track racers. Shout out to Joey, all the admins for putting on this type of event, type of show every Sunday night, man. This good close racing, man. Very maintained and respected. Drivers don't really get into it a lot on here, unlike any other league I've been in.
Never.
And yeah, and I want to thank Sam Barnes for making this paint scheme, man. Spicy schemes. He do hell of a job, man. This Grand Theft Auto was a rocket, man. Was a rocket. Thank Laser Racing, my teammates in my other leagues, and Cody Neagles, Limitless Esports. I want to thank him, man. He showed me some stuff with qualifying, and he just me and him be on team this whole season, and he's one of the top super speedway racers in iRacing, man. And I look up to him, and he just showed me some stuff, and I kind of learned that move from him a little bit on that last lap. Thank my girlfriend, thank God, and thank all the viewers out there, man. And that'll be it.
Absolutely, man. Great job tonight. Way to steal a win in the Grand Theft Auto car. And congratulations, man.
Appreciate it.
You too, buddy. Stephen Miles, the winner here tonight at Daytona, as he gets his first career Sim500 win. And he actually adds to the list of drivers now, which is getting close to a pretty high number as I think about it now. The list of drivers that have won in this league. I know we talked about it during the podcast when Kevin and I were on there, the amount of drivers that this series has seen go to victory lane. I mean, from the likes of Parker Kligerman to Malik Ray to now Miles to myself, actually, in some weird way. That's the pure definition of a blind squirrel finds a nut, is me going to victory lane in this league. But needless to say, as I stall, because I'm going to get the actual number of winners that have shown up in victory lane in this league, it is an amazing number. We talked about Tyler Dalton tonight going for 200 career poles, and unfortunately lost out on that by one position. He'll try again tomorrow night in the race at Homestead. But needless to say, when we show you the point standings here right now, as I get those numbers to pop up here, Braxton DeWeese leads the points again by 22 over Mac McMillan, who took the night off for his birthday. Mike Kelly goes up to third in points. This has got to be updated, obviously, because Miles, it says, loses a spot to fourth, so Miles will actually be closer, probably second in points, if not third, right in that area there, once that gets updated. Similarly, Coleman, Donaldson, Calantoni, look down here at the bubble. Karlovage up on Fuller. We talked about 7 starts in 12 races, and a man 17th in points. When you got numbers like this, 3 wins, 6 top 5s, 6 top 10s, pretty impressive right there for Fuller. He's done a great job this season. Those are your bubble guys right there, by about 10. Karlovage over Fuller, and then, of course, everybody here within about 10 to 15 to 20 with plenty of races to go. If Karlovage can, of course, he wasn't here tonight, but if he can stay consistent, and I mean, obviously plenty of guys have missed races here, so anything can happen in these next 8 races as we go next week to Kansas Speedway, and see what happens there for as we go back to daytime racing after tonight here at Daytona. What fantastic racing it was. Congratulations to Stephen Miles on getting the win, as I have the number now as we pull it up here, and I click the old button. I have to click next a whole bunch of times here. Hey, there's my name. We are up to now. Oh, it doesn't have a list of numbers anymore. Ah, phooey. Just says page 5 of 26. That helps me a lot. A lot. Basically, put it like that. It's like 100 and... we're getting close to 200 on this number, too. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 24. I'm not counting them all. I'm doing something here. 8, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42... 6, 48, 50, 52 on each page. 104, 156, 156 and 52. That's 200. Are we over 200? 208? 209? Are we official over 200 winners? I'll have to get the number there from Jatina, but either way, we got a lot of dadgum winners in this league now. Holy cow, over 200 it looks like officially now in Sim500. So congratulations to the league on that success and more. But again, next Sunday it is Kansas Speedway, 134 laps of racing on that 1.5 mile track. We will see you there again Sunday at 8:15 Eastern Time. Tomorrow night, Kevin and I are back at Homestead, ready to go racing. We'll take the trip down I-95. I'll probably sleep in my hometown where I'm from on the ocean there and grab some barbecue and head south back down towards Miami and Homestead and get ready for that race. So, all right, let's go home. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. And always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain Esports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.